Now that you have an understanding how the city's drain system works, what can you do? Well, for this video, we've compiled the most basic issues Hazel Park faces in watershed protection. We filmed something for each season in Michigan to show that watershed protection is a year-round effort. Each season has its own set of challenges, but similar to each. So let's watch. For this segment of the video, we want to talk about how fall in Hazel Park can affect the watershed. Fall is the time of year where we're ending our outdoor activities and begin preparing for winter. Our gardens have died back and the leaves have fallen, and now we all begin to chore cleaning our yards. This debris, if left unattended, has a chance of entering the city's storm sewer system and then onto the watershed. This debris contains many nutrients that will act as a food supply for undesirable organisms in the watershed that will be harmful to plant and aquatic life. So how do we combat this? Many of us will rake the leaves and place them into brown paper bags and set them out on garbage day for removal. Others will simply use their lawnmowers and create mulch and continue feeding these nutrients back into their lawns if they want to win it. Some people actually have compost barrels in their yard and will place this debris into those barrels and next spring they'll have to stay supplied with compost. Many of us will take the opportunity to fall, winterize our summer equipment. Also, we may have to change many fluids and different equipment. These fluids are hazardous to just about everything in the environment. Please be responsible in disposing of those correctly. So you can see that fall is an important time of year as any other for protecting the water. For this segment of the video, we want to talk about how winter in Hazel Park can affect the watershed. Winters in Michigan tend to be very long, and most of us stay indoors away from the cold, while some of us will adventure out and enjoy the activities winter has to offer, like snowmobiling and ice fishing. But because we're not outside cutting our grass and enjoying outside activities and warm weather has to offer, doesn't mean we get to forget about watershed protection. Now in the wintertime, we face very slippery conditions and icy conditions, and for this we tend to use salt. Salt can harm plant and aquatic life. So try to limit your use of salt and use only what you need to do to make your property safe. Now, your local hardware store sells many products that are becoming more and more environmentally friendly and do a great job of controlling snow and ice. Now eventually, this snow back here is going to melt, and what doesn't evaporate is going to end up into this catch basin. And with that, anything that's on the ground around the snow will in fact get pulled into the catch basin. So what we need to ask ourselves is, before winter, what didn't we finish on our yards or our properties? Well, over here we have an example of some yard debris. We have this leaves and dirt and other things that we might have left behind. Now the snow is going to blanket this, and eventually as it melts, it's going to pull this into our catch basins. We also need to consider some household hazardous items that may have been left out before the season. Today's example, we're showing some auto fluids. We have some oil canisters, aerosol, and oily part of an engine here. Now this too, it will be covered with snow, blanketed over, and as it melts, it too has an opportunity to run into the catch basin. Now if we can just get very simple in our last item, is just our garbage. Unsecured, left laying out, is an invitation to wildlife. Wildlife is hungry in the winter, it's looking for something to eat. And your garbage will be a target for wildlife. They will tear into it and open it up and make a mess of it scattered throughout the snowy area. And once again, as the snow melts, this has an opportunity to run into our catch basin. So all of these items here have possibilities of contaminating the watershed. So a segment on winter is to show you that wintertime is just as important as any other time of the season for watershed protection. For this segment of the video, we want to talk about how spring in Hazel Park can affect the watershed. Well, we've made it through another winter, and as you can see behind me, things are greening up pretty good. Now this time of the year, most of us will spend time performing spring cleaning around the house, and we'll use
a lot of different household chemicals to perform these duties. These chemicals can be harmful to the environment, so proper disposal is very important. So just check the labels on these chemicals to see how they should be disposed of. If you have questions on chemical disposals, you can visit the city's website or stop by City Hall in the watershed display and pick up this pamphlet. It'll have information on how to dispose of household chemicals. Now that spring's here, we're probably going to spend a little time tuning up our yards. Like fall, leaves and yard waste can be mulched, composted, or bagged up in appropriate brown bags and set out towards the garbage for proper disposal. Also, we're probably going to spend some time tuning up our lawn equipment, such as our mowers and our weed whackers. We may do some basic maintenance, changing some fluids, and remember that these fluids are hazardous to just about everything in the environment. So again, proper disposal, very important. If anybody's like me, this is the time of the year we like to fertilize and kill weeds. If you choose to use fertilizers from a hopper such as this, it's going to be a granular. Please remember to sweep these fertilizers off the sidewalks, driveways, and the streets, and not allow them to be blown around and end up in our catch basins. If you choose to use a liquid fertilizer, try not to spray anything that won't absorb it. Sidewalks, driveways will not absorb this chemical, and it too can wash down to the catch basins. The last item we want to cover for spring is pet waste. Now that we have this nice weather, we're going to be out walking our pets, and their waste contains high levels of E. coli. If left unattended, this waste can end up in our catch basins, causing a high E. coli count in the watershed. This high E. coli count has been a great contributor to closing the many beaches in the state of Michigan. So as you can see, springtime has its own set of challenges for watershed protection. For this segment of the video, we want to talk about how summertime in Hazel Park can affect the watershed. Well, the weather is getting hotter and it's getting drier. Rain is less frequent, so we tend to use more water to maintain our lawns, gardens, swimming pools, various outdoor activities, and chores. The important thing is too much water can cause water runoff. So as you water your gardens and your lawns, use what can be absorbed by the gardens and lawns and not wasted running down driveways, sidewalks, and streets. As that happens, contaminants on the ground have a chance to be rinsed into a catch basin. And we're going to show you an example of water runoff by sudsing up this truck. Now, we don't at the city do this in open areas. We have areas in our building designed to wash vehicles. Those areas have drainage systems that are separated with eco-friendly products we use to keep ourselves from contaminating the environment. So let's show you this quick example here. So as you can see, as the debris and the soap is washed from the truck, it hits a hard surface that cannot absorb it. Therefore, it's mixing with contaminants that may already be on the ground, and then everything is rinsing itself towards a catch basin. Now, from this point in the catch basin, these contaminants now have a chance to enter the watershed, causing water quality issues within the watershed. So you can see that summertime is another important season for protecting the watershed. Now that you understand the challenges the City of Hazel Park faces in watershed protection, we can all do our part to protect the watershed. For more information, you can visit our display at City Hall or the following websites. First one listed there is our city website at www.hazelpark.org, or SEMCOG at www.semcog.org, or our friends at the Clinton River Watershed Council, the leaders in watershed protection, at www.crwc.org. But before we close out this video, there's one more thing I'd like to share with you. This is the end result of all of our efforts, protecting this very important natural resource.